Jason, the Argonauts, and the Golden Fleece. Before the Trojan War, there was the voyage of the Argo. It was the first time the greatest heroes of Greece banded together for a single cause. The leader of this expedition was Jason. Jason's story began with a usurper. His uncle Peleus had seized the throne of Iolcos, overthrowing Jason's father. Fearing for the boy's life, his mother faked his death and smuggled him out of the city to be raised by Chiron, the wise centaur who trained heroes. Years later, a prophecy warned King Peleus, "Beware the man with one sandal." When Jason came to age, he set out to reclaim his throne. On his way to the city, he came to a raging river. An old woman asked him to carry her across. Jason, showing kindness, carried him on his back. The current was strong, and he lost one of his sandals in the mud. When he arrived at the city square, King Peleus saw him, a stranger wearing only one sandal. The king trembled. The old woman Jason carried was actually Hera, the queen of gods, in disguise. From that moment, Hera became Jason's protector, orchestrating his path to destroy Peleus. To get rid of this threat, Peleus set an impossible condition. "I will give you the throne," he lied, "if you bring me the Golden Fleece from the land of Colchis." The first Avengers. The Golden Fleece was the skin of a magical flying ram, hung in a sacred grove at the edge of the known world, guarded by a sleepless dragon. It was a suicide mission, but Jason accepted. He commissioned the master shipwright Argus to build a vessel unlike any other, the Argo. Athena herself helped, fitting a piece of sacred oak from Dodona into the prow, which could speak and give warnings. Jason sent word across Greece calling for heroes. The response was legendary. Heracles, the strongest man in the world. Orpheus, the musician whose song could charm stones. Castor and Pollux, the twin sons of Zeus. Peleus, the future father of Achilles. Atalanta, the fierce huntress in some versions. They called themselves the Argonauts. 50 of the greatest warriors set sail into the unknown. The clashing rocks. Their journey was filled with perils. They fought six-armed giants, encountered the harpies, bird women who tormented a blind prophet, and navigated through the crashing waves. Their greatest challenge at sea was the Symplegades, the clashing rocks. These were two massive cliffs at the entrance to the Black Sea that would smash together instantly if anything tried to pass between them. Following the advice of the blind prophet Phineas, Jason released a dove. The bird flew through the gap. The rocks crashed together, clipping only the dove's tail feathers. As the rocks slowly pulled apart to reset, Jason shouted, "Row!" The Argonauts pulled with all their strength. Orpheus played a rhythm to keep their pace. The Argo shot through the gap just as the rocks slammed shut again, shaving off the stern ornament of the ship. They had made it. The Black Sea was open. The Witch Princess. When they arrived in Colchis, King Aeetes had no intention of giving up the fleece. He gave Jason a test he was sure would kill him. Yoke 2 fire-breathing bulls with bronze hooves, plow a field with them, sow dragon's teeth into the earth, defeat the army of skeletal warriors that would spring from the teeth. Jason despaired, but Hera intervened. She asked Aphrodite to send Eros, Cupid, to shoot a golden arrow into the heart of the king's daughter, Medea. Medea was not just a princess, she was a powerful sorceress, a priestess of Hecate. Struck by the arrow, she fell madly, obsessively in love with Jason. She betrayed her father. She gave Jason a magical ointment to make him fireproof for a day. She told him the secret to defeating the skeleton warriors. Quote, "Throw a rock in their midst, and they will accuse each other and fight amongst themselves." Unquote. Jason followed her instructions perfectly. He yoked the bulls, plowed the field, and watched as the skeleton army destroyed itself. He had won. The theft and the brother. King Aetes, furious that Jason survived, plotted to burn the Argo and kill the crew. Medea warned Jason, "We must steal the fleece tonight and flee." They went to the sacred grove. There hung the Golden Fleece, glowing in the moonlight, guarded by a serpent that never slept. Jason drew his sword, but Medea held him back. She used her magic. She sang a hypnotic song and sprinkled sleeping potions into the dragon's eyes. The monster slumped into slumber. Jason snatched the fleece and they ran to the ship. As they fled across the sea, King Aetes pursued them. To stop her father, Medea committed an unspeakable act. She had brought her younger brother, Apsyrtus, on board. She killed him, cut his body into pieces, and threw them into the sea one by one. King Aetes, forced to stop and collect the pieces of his son for burial, fell behind. The Argo escaped. Jason had the fleece and he had the girl. But the shadow of this murder would haunt them forever. A tragic ending. Back in Iolcos, Medea used her magic to trick the daughters of King Peleus into killing their own father, thinking they were rejuvenating him. Peleus died, but the people were horrified by the sorcery. Jason and Medea were exiled to Corinth. There they lived for 10 years and had 2 sons. But Jason, ever ambitious, grew tired of his barbarian witch wife. The king of Corinth offered Jason his daughter in marriage. Jason accepted, planning to divorce Medea and exile her. He underestimated her rage. "You have betrayed me," Medea whispered. "I betrayed my father, killed my brother, and stained my hands with blood for you. And this is my reward?" Medea feigned acceptance. She sent a wedding gift to the new princess, a beautiful robe poisoned with magical fire. When the princess put it on, she burned to death. The king, trying to save her, burned with her. Then, to hurt Jason in the deepest way possible, Medea killed their 2 sons with her own hands. She escaped in a chariot drawn by dragons, leaving Jason alive amidst the ruins of his life. He had been a great leader, but without Medea, he was nothing. He died years later, a lonely old man, crushed by a rotting beam falling from the prow of his old ship, the Argo.